fantastic collection of lyrebird calls, and he believes that it's just a whole wide range of their natural calls, and we think that some of them sound like things that we often use. That's his theory, and he's been studying them for about 30 years. So, you know, we'll see what happens. Now it's time for that story.
Yes, it's a really spectacular Australian bird, isn't it? And
yes.
It's named after a musical instrument.
One of the most remarkable birds in the Australian bush is the lyrebird. Remarkable because it can mimic an extraordinary range of sounds. Listen. Once widespread in the forests of ancient Australia, lyrebirds are now restricted to a coastal strip running from southern Queensland to southern Victoria. Lyrebirds are strictly protected, but as forest areas continue to be cleared, their numbers are falling fast. The reason? Mostly it has to do with the elaborate courtship ritual of the male lyrebird and the fact that the female lyrebird lays only one egg per year. Any disturbance of the natural environment will upset the males, and unless they perform their beautiful dance on one of their specially built mounds, there's no chance of mating taking place. No mating, no little lyrebirds.
Well, this is a mound, David, that the lyrebird scrapes up. He makes a series of them throughout his territory. Some he uses just for territorial calling and so on. Others he uses for mating. The way he makes it, he goes around the edge. Anything that's on the sides, he'll flatten down, and we've even seen the lyrebirds pull pieces of fern out to get them off the mound. If there's any very heavy saplings often over the mound area, when he's clearing it, he'll pull those away. They're quite a powerful bird, really, in that regard.
He's basically trying to make the mound a big open display area, so
yes,
he can be seen doing his lovely
yes.
display.
And well, this is through where we are now is in a bit of a light well, and the male seems, when displaying, to like to display and show off his beautiful tail in better light, obviously.
Sure, sure.
And
we've found... advertise.
Yeah, that's right, yes.
And of course, little lyrebirds make excellent food for hungry predators like dogs and cats. And that's what's been causing great concern at Sherbrooke Forest near Melbourne, one of the best natural havens in Australia for lyrebirds. Sherbrooke is a beautiful state forest and is home to about 80 lyrebirds. It's a bit like an island in the middle of suburbia, and like any island is effectively isolated from natural bush by the surrounding houses, roads and shops. So if a lyrebird dies here in the forest, it won't be replaced by birds from another area because there aren't any. The population can only increase very slowly as each hen lays her single egg each year. If anything happens to that egg, her goose will be cooked for that year, if you'll pardon the expression.
Just a bit further.
Over here, is it somewhere?
Yeah, over in this direction,
okay.
That's it, yeah.
It's big.
It is a big nest,
Yes, it is. Yeah.
That's the normal size.
So how's it built?
Well, this one was, there was a platform put in, 3 years ago, and then that was left and not used, and this year the nest was built. But unfortunately, there's been predation on this nest by, I would say, a fox. Yes, it's been pushed away from the tree.
Yeah.
And there's a hole in the back of the nest where you
So
can
you
see
think
the
a fox
light
has got
coming
in
through.
and got the chick?
Well, I don't agree with this theory of fox. I think it was a domestic cat, because I've seen them in action on Ridge Track.
Right. Why do you think it was a cat?
And a fox out there, or a dog, would scrapple around there, whereas the cat would sort of get there and just snaffle.
And sneaked in the back and...
yes.
And done it without too much damage to the
We'll
front.
have to agree to disagree on that one.
The future of the lyrebirds is very much in the hands of the locals. They've been warned to keep their pets out of the park. Unfortunately, these warnings often fall on deaf ears, and now the park's people are having to take drastic action against dogs, cats, and even wild foxes. So what have you got here, Kerry?
Well, Dave, this is what we call a treadle snare. It's been developed by one of our research staff down at our research centre in Frankston.
Yeah.
This is to replace the steel jaw trap, which has been outlawed now. And as you can see, there's no sharp barbs or anything on.
Right.
It's just a wire.
Yeah.
Which just acts as a snare.
And
exactly.
zaps me like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the actual treadle snare.
Right.
What we're after here, mainly foxes or even dogs.
So you can make it so set up in such a way that you won't catch small animals.
Oh,
just catch the bigger ones.
certainly.
Right.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that's our main thing. We bury this in the ground, and we either put bait underneath it, or even down here where we've got a cage with some meat in there, trying to lure the fox in there, because as you realise, they're opportunistic scavengers. They'll come around for some any of this old meat.
Let's see how it works.
Certainly.
Oh, that works well, doesn't it?
Very well.
So how effective are the snares in protecting the lyrebirds?
The population's gone down tremendously. Probably there are a lot we don't know about because there are parts of the forest we don't get into. But we have lost in the last 3 years 19 birds, known birds. So it could be higher than that.
So what are the numbers now compared to some time ago, you know?
Well, when the survey first started, the estimate of the population was 160 birds. Right now, we'd say we'd be lucky to have above 70.
And that's what, over 30 years or so?
Yes, over a 30-year study. But it looks as if some of the action taken by the Conservation Forests and Lands people is having a worthwhile effect. It should enable the population at least to stabilise, because if there's no up-and-coming stock, it's only a matter of time before the whole population is gone.
You're doing really